Oh, we did actually, we did.
This is Pat and Allie.
Oh, right. Here's one right here. Eric, right, push that note. And look exactly like it looked at the time, except no drugs. But you're a problem solver. Just follow along.
Some men are made of money, some of much sterner stuff. I want to be your ever-loving thunder, doling affection off the cuff. Before they made me, they broke the mold. I'm apple to the core. Apple to the core, I'm apple to the core. Life on the boundaries can be bristly and soft. Now gather all your things, you've just been caught. Before they made me, they broke the mold. I'm apple to the core. I'm apple to the core. Apple to the core. Some men are still all snakes and snails. Long ago I headed down happier trails. Now I'm in a place where we can do a lot of kissing with bouquets of mistletoe landing at our feet. I'm apple, apple to the core, apple to the core. Before they made me, they broke the mold. I'm apple, I'm apple to the core, to the core. I'm apple to the core, to the core, to the core. I'm apple to the core. Before we draw this event to a close, because this is the Washington State Capitol Museum, and I know that there's been some talk of some budget cuts for different state programs, some of them more needing our attention than others, but since we're here now, in this beautiful building, adjacent to this other rather grandiose structure, I'd like to say that there are those amongst our fellow citizens who deem the State Capitol Museum disposable.
No.
Heresy, you say? Well, we have no control. This is America. We have no control over other people's misguided opinions about our cultural heritage. However, you do have control over your elected representatives. You can call them and let them know how important you feel it is that programs like the Washington State Capitol Museum and other heritage programs are important, and you feel that they should survive this session unscathed. So, and I don't know if there's some, we leave it to your conscience to decide what to do next. But we felt that one of the things that we take this opportunity as an event here at the State Capitol Museum, we would like to share in, here in Olympia, we often, well, I'll say that when I was much younger, my father was the press secretary to the governor, Governor Rossellini. And as he had access to the executive branch, quite unparalleled, he used this access to start a collection, a fascinating collection of what he called crackpot mail. Mail that had been, people who had written to the governor and said, get us out of the UN, and other crazy ideas, you know. And there was a crackpot idea that happened just while we were doing some of the events that we were talking about here tonight. About 25 years ago, some people had this idea. Oh, we should make Louie Louie the state song. And, I mean, I remember at the time I was quite offended. Because, well, first of all, there already is a state song. In fact, there's two of them. And on top of that, this song that was being suggested, Louie Louie, that's written by a guy from Los Angeles. I mean, that's in California. Okay. So we thought what we'd do is, fortunately, that is one initiative that failed to pass the muster of our legislative system. Okay. Now, if only these proposed budget cuts to the State Capitol Museum had this similar fate. Anyway, I digress. What we would like to do here is share with you our renditions of these state songs for the state of Washington, the ones that are officially recognized by the legislature and governor to be the state songs. And the first one was written in, just give a little background on it. First one was written in 1906. I was given some really interesting, some fascinating literature by the staff here at the State Capitol Museum. And the first one was written by a professor of poetry at the University of Washington in 1906. And yes, his name is Benjamin Meany, and he wrote this song called "Washington Beloved." And he actually wrote it originally as a song for the University of Washington, because the University of Washington was relatively new. He didn't have a song of his own. He was borrowing songs from other schools, and he felt like we need our own song. And so he wrote this as the song for the University of Washington, but then a couple of years later, the legislature decided we should have that as our state song, Washington Beloved. And so, is everything all right? So the thing is that it never really, somehow, it never really caught on. And I'd like to read a quote from this article. This article was written by a historian named Harry Bauer. And he's, even though it was passed in 1909 as the state song, it never really caught on. In fact, they made up, on February 22nd, 1932, Frank McCaffrey distributed from his Dogwood Press beautiful renditions of the verses of Washington Beloved with the thought that they would make appropriate souvenirs of the Washington Bicentennial. They did just that, and only that. And then it goes on to say, in December 1935, Secretary of State Ernest N. Hutchinson obtained permission from the copyright holders to distribute reprints of Washington Beloved to the school children of the Evergreen State. What the children did with the leaflets is anybody's guess. They simply did not revive the commodore song. Thus, at least one project underwritten by the Washington Emergency Relief Administration came to naught. Can't win them all, guys. But this song is still officially the state song from Washington, and we would like to share it with you. And we have our friend Elizabeth is going to play the piano. And we're going to,
yes, I do.
now, if you know the song, please join us.
Well, can I just say one thing? This is also proof that you can't learn everything on the internet, because this song does not exist.
Yes, libraries are very important. We would not have this sheet music or the lyrics if we had relied upon the interweb. It's only available from the library.
And I
was at an event here, one of these same series, I think, last week. Steve Willis, who works at the Washington State Library, was giving a presentation about underground comics in Olympia and Thurston County, and he was talking a lot about the importance of libraries and how they are irreplaceable. But anyway, let's just
yeah, let's just sing this completely ready? Weird song.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Thy name, O Washington, renowned, we hail from far and near. The glories joyfully resound in songs of praise and mighty cheer. May we hail from far and near in songs of praise and mighty cheer. Thy fame, O So that one, that never really caught on, guys, but it's still officially on the books, okay? But in the 50s, oh, there's a woman from South Bend, Washington, which is just south of Raymond there, in Grace Harbor. Her name's Helen Davis, and she wrote a song called Washington, My Home. And that is a song which is more widely known as the Washington State song. It was adopted officially in 1959 under Governor Olympia by the legislature. And when Louis was proposed as the state song, she was still alive. And I remember at the time, because I was like, this is just ridiculous. They're trying to pass this song, and this woman's still here. How? That's so disrespectful. And I thought, what does she think? I wonder. And I remember there was an interview with her, and she was just like, oh, whatever. S happens, or something to that effect. And I was like, but anyway, we're over it now, and we just want to share this song with you, Washington, My Home. And if anyone knows the lyrics, you can sing along.
Please sing along, as you should, as Washingtonians. And I'd also like to dedicate it to the State Capitol Museum and to Len Bayou, who put this event on.
Yes.
Rest here in the sun.
email